Well, good evening, and that's awesome. That's good. Never good to chew your bubble gum. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, this is SYLBOURNE here. Want to wish you a wonderful Sunday. Thanks for those who are coming on. Thanks for those who are going to catch me on the replay. Um, yep. Of course, I just wait for a couple persons to come on. And let me just check to make sure that my video video this wasn't the right one. Right. Okay. Okay. I think I did something wrong here. But those on the let me just stop this for a second. Those are on the YouTube. Um, welcome for that. Um, I think I made a boo boo there for a second. Thank you so much. I think I went on the wrong channel, but that's all good. That's okay. That's a part of the process. Um, we all are humans. I'm only human, flesh and blood. Let me see this. Get this going. Get this one going. Awesome. There we are. There we are. Oh, well, we are good. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, this is SYLBOURNE here, and welcome to the late one. And I've said I'm going to talk about the catching up on the recent week. It's been a very profound and powerful week. But tonight, I call tonight. What should I call it? Hey, Tia, how are you, buddy? Good, good, good. I call tonight inspirational night, and why I call it inspirational night is to see if we can find anything inspiring to talk about, even amidst the whole Brexit thing. Is there anything inspiring around Brexit other than Theo Ambrose, who is always finding some positive things in life? Is that Theo? Okay, Theo, if you are there, give me a thumbs up. Let me make sure that you're there. You're not a shadow or so, which is lurking in the backside of the desert or so. Let me see a thumbs up. Um, you know, it is it is what should I say? It is dangerous times that we're living in. It is dangerous times, but it is also exciting times that we're living in. I must say, dangerous times, but also exciting times. We cannot dismiss that. There's a saying that what is wrong with the world is the world gone mad. And then the song always finishes by saying, which Lou Rawls says, nothing is wrong with the world, but it's the people that is in it. You know, nothing's wrong with the world, but it's the people that is in it. But but before I went further, one of the things that I saw um, with a couple news item tonight, which is very interesting, is that four men, yep, four men were stabbed, um, you know, were found with stab wounds. Four men having been found with stab wounds after horror knife attack in North London, which is being treated as a link to a minicab shooting. Police said they were called to a fight in Edmonton in the borough of Enfield shortly before 6 p.m. They found four men at the scene on a Fraser Road, suffering from stab wounds. Um, you know, two vehicles that had been collision were found at the scene. Yeah. So it seems that the whole issue regarding crime, regarding atrocities, is not going away. And even with the whole advent of Brexit, and which is what is happening now, that is not going away, right? That's reality. It's not going away. And still, every time the news item comes up, or every time the discussion comes up, there's still the question as what is happening? You know, what is really happening? And I keep reminding persons to say, stop saying what is really happening, because what is really happening is nothing new to a certain extent. The worst thing, though, is if we actually move from what is happening and actually start to see it as the norm. That's the worst bit, is when one starts to see it as the norm, when one starts to see it as just a typical day. And that is when it becomes dangerous, when it becomes a typical day with all these different shooting and stabbing and all those sort of things within the country, within the community. That is still dangerous. You know, we got the Brexit factor, which is happening there, which I touched on briefly, to find something inspiring about that, something inspirational about that. I'm sure there must be something inspirational about that. But I must remind you of a video which I did and which I broadcast recently. And it's a video with Colette Hunter, Miss Hunter, who lost her son in 2014, James Ross Hunter. And you need to watch that video. It's very important that you watch that video. That video speaks about her giving her testimony, her giving her story, what it is as a mother who actually, suffered by losing her son. She got two sons, came to Jamaica in 2009 and brought her two sons, and one of them was trying to help some guy when they're having some scuffle or whatever like that, and he got killed. Right in Sydenham, just above me, right here in Sydenham, 2004, 2009. It came to the UK. 2014, it happened. This boy used to go to Monroe College and things like that. So there are many facets to it. There's many facets towards knife and gun crime. So many different angles to it, um, and that's one of the reasons why I cannot just demonize parents. I believe parents play a fundamental role, but I am not able to demonize parents because it's multifaceted. I believe the parents play a key role, fundamental key role in the whole process, but it is multifaceted. It is the government, it is the school, it is the teachers, it is the community, it is everything. It is church, it's everything that plays a part in the whole process in order to deal with this. And there's two facets again to the whole thing regarding knife and gun crime. You've got the children which are growing up, who are becoming adults and are getting into the system, or they're moving from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, this age where they start to transform. And then those who are already out there who are making havoc, you know. There's the preface or the saying, the premise that all children are good. But when you think about the little boy, the Bulger killer, James Bulger, many years ago, I think I just came into the country that time. That was a dangerous thing there. The boys who killed that little other boy, you know, that was terrible, totally terrible. Can you call those kids good boys? Would you say they are good boys? Uh, so therefore, there's lots of different facets to it, which is interesting. Now, so that is something that what one has got to keep an eye on. Watch the video, which Miss Hunter. Do watch it. It's on my Facebook page. It's on YouTube as well, SYLBOURNE TV. Look at that. That is great. And also, I want to give a congratulations, a big up to my good friend Paul Mackenzie. Paul Mackenzie won some award for the work that he's doing. And if you don't know Paul Mackenzie, you just type in Paul Mackenzie on YouTube, see what he does from the soapbox and teens, teen, teen one, you know, and it's good. Well, whether he's recognized by the authorities or the powers that be is irrelevant. The most important thing is that the reward is in heaven, and God sees him, and God sees what he's doing. So he's got this award, and I shared another video, which I did with him last year. Yep, last year, which is 2017. Yes, two-part video which I did with him, which is shared on my page and shared on my personal page, which is SYLBOURNE Studio, and also shared as well on SYLBOURNE Show, SYLBOURNE TV. Now, the reason why I share that is because it is still profound. It is still a video which is very good. The video with Paul Mackenzie, a good friend, and one of the things that I've done is captured different persons' views and different persons' perspective. So I always like to hear different views and different persons' perspective regarding the whole issue with youth crime. I've reached out to some other persons recently, maybe in the early year, to talk about expulsion and PRU and all these sort of things regarding the system. Um, there are videos with Charles Kernow being a father, Yisrael Emmanuel, Peace Code Treaty, Paula Perry, different discussion, different shows which have Reverend Ezekiel Thompson talking about the whole aspect of loving your city from a church perspective, many different aspects. Talk with Leroy Logan, talk with Stephen Gislin. So, and there's other raft of information out there which got to keep sharing them, and with the hope that it will not just be heard, but in all these sort of discussions, you can hear and you can see different solutions that persons are having out there, solutions that persons can use to change their life, to help them in their children as well, and also even with Cherry Johnson talk about counterlines, talk about the whole aspect of using the Snapchat and social media and all these things sort of work. So there are many different things to that. So please do check that out, ladies and gentlemen, and that would be good. Now, one of the things I didn't talk about a lot, though, I didn't talk about this whole thing with America. Um, you know, not talking about Trump, but talking about the recent elections, and I sort of held off it because there are a couple um, election results which are in the wings. And I believe the results finally came in regards to Andrew Gillum, who I really admire, running for Florida. Andrew Gillum, I think he conceded, and then after conceded, he unconceded. Never heard of that before, but he unconceded because there was some issue with some ballot box which were found. And as a result of that, he wanted to make sure that every single vote is counted. And I believe that principle, that every single vote should be counted, because people go out there and people actually, toil and they sweat, and people died for people to vote. And he went there, and they didn't want just those votes to count, because actually in Kentucky, I believe in Kentucky, there's a senator, or I don't know if it's a congressman or some other um, elected official, won by one vote. He won by one vote. And by winning that one vote, he won. Whether it is one or 100 or 1,000, he won. That is how the democratic system works. Right, ladies and gentlemen? That's why every vote counts. Many people say, oh, that doesn't make sense, I vote because he won already. Many people say, every people say, oh, why? It doesn't make sense, I vote because he won already. Then he won completely missed the mark. Totally. I've seen in Croydon whereby MP won by 26 vote once, and they want to do a recount. And I believe the Democratic senator won by the one vote. I believe the Republican is saying he wants to actually check, Rick Scott also won that seat also in Florida for the Senate, and the governor's seat, which was won by which Andrew Gillum wants to won, is run by DeSantis or whatever his name is. And then we move over into Georgia, where in Georgia now, Stacey Abrams actually, I believe she did not concede, but she said it is more likely, and she understands that the I forget who is the congressperson who won. I think it's Kemp, something Kemp, I believe, that he's going to be the congressman. Now she did not concede, you know, and it makes you wonder this the whole thing about good winners, bad winners, or is it racism, or is it what is it? You know, because when I notice with the elections in America, when I see Barack Obama, when I see Oprah Winfrey go out there and they campaign and they say, go ahead and vote, and come on, say, go ahead and vote. It's important that you go and vote. One seems to get it that they're only saying that you should vote a particular way, right? What is not sometimes expressed and explained is why voting. If you vote for this person, why you vote for this person, and what are the reasons, what are the policies, what is the mechanics behind voting? You know, what is it when you if you can win by one vote, 5 votes, 1,000 votes? What difference does it make? Really and truly makes no difference. But then when you talk to Brexit now, that's a different case of fish because they're saying the margin is too thin. Margin is too thin to have Brexit, so therefore we need a people's vote. But with Brexit, sorry, I move away from the states now because now let's go back to the states since we're on the states because on in the states, the city or the town which is called Paradise, um, Paradise, it is sad, which is what is happening over there, and they talk about a lot of the you know animals who you know who lost who they can't find, but most importantly, there's over I think they said maybe 1,300 or over 1,000 persons which they cannot find, which is crazy, and I believe they've I think there's about the death count so far is about 80. But something really which is slightly, I must say, concerning, which I see have been going around, and I don't know if you've seen it or that's coming to your inbox. What is coming to your inbox is this particular video of this place burning, and people are saying that something like it's karma. It is karma because it's very disgusting actually to a certain extent because the town is racist and because there's no black people there or whatever like that. It's like karma, and it made me start to debunk karma to a certain extent. And for persons to say that, I believe that is really somewhat a bit distasteful. I would say um, distasteful to a certain extent. Nevertheless, it is out there, and around in people's inbox, and I started to debunk the whole thing about karma. You know, for those who believe in karma. Um, so therefore, if something goes wrong with you or something goes bad with you, it is bad karma. It is something that you did in the past. So therefore, look back, you look at the Grenfell Tower, you look at all the different entities, then you say, wow, the result of that, was it some karma sometime in the past or whatever like that? So we've got to be very careful when we actually um, look at atrocities, even like with Haiti, when things were happening, they said it was because of voodoo that created all the different things. And talk about karma, bad things which happen. It's very concerning there. So we've got to be very careful and to be very sensitive with these particular things, you know. But anyway, let's talk about the UK now and to see if can one say that there's anything uh, uh, positive that came out of the way Theresa May is actually dealing with the whole aspect of Brexit, right? Is there anything positive that is coming through that? And the more I think about it, I see negatives coming out of it. I see positives come out of it. One of the negatives I see coming out of it is this. Can you resign just because you don't like what happened with your boss or the deal in your company or organization? Can you just get up and resign? And I'm finding it very concerning where people just get up and just resign that easily. And then they come back around. They're reshuffled. I believe all the time that let's start first with when something go bad, um, the Windrush, the Grenfell, and different things. People always say they want some scalp. They want the person who was responsible, the person who was minister to resign. Heads must roll. And whenever I hear about this head must roll and all these sort of things, I always say to myself, then no, these persons need to stay there and they need to go through the process and fix it. Don't let them off that easily. People are too apt to resign so easily. Tony, what's his name? David Cameron resigned right after the Brexit, right? Amber Rudd resigned right after the Brexit, after the Windrush thing, right? In Grenfell, a few persons resigned, I believe, in the council. And what is happening is that persons are not being held responsible for their actions. Dominic Raab, who is the High Lorna, Dominic Raab, who is the Brexit secretary at that time, he resigned. Boris Johnson didn't like the Chequers agreement, so he resigned. David Davis didn't like it, so he resigned. Esther McWhirter, whatever I believe, I forget her name, she resigned. A couple other persons resigned. Northern Ireland minister resigned. And guess what? With the reshuffle, Amber Rudd is back after 6 months. Right? So people are just resigning. But one person stands firm, like a formidable force to be reckoned with. And that is the lady who is, I almost said Margaret Thatcher, but the lady, Theresa May, the Prime Minister. She's came in for doing a particular job. And by virtue of such, she's doing that job against odds. She's doing that job because that is your mandate. And guess what? It could be deemed different if she, that is the, Theresa May, did not have that general election. If that general election did not take place, right? Because the people would say that she did not have the mandate. But when David Cameron resigned and he handed her on a platter, or she was coronated as the prime minister, and there was no sort of election internal within the party, then one could say that she's got it in her hand. And therefore, it is more grounds for her to resign because it wasn't like she went to the country to seek a mandate. Well, she actually went to the country, sought that mandate, and by that mandate, she became the prime minister. Okay, she did not get the majority that she wanted, if anything. And many people are saying, why did she have the election? But if you remember, and I said this before, Gordon Brown also was challenged to have a mandate because guess what? He did not get the mandate. He did not go to the crowd. He was handed to it on the platter from Tony Blair because they went and they had this meal, they had this dinner, and a secret deal was made, as many people say. So Theresa May went to the country, didn't get good, good votes or anything like that. So she had to be propped up by the DUP. And I mean, propped up by the DUP now, she has that sort of majority, but it is not just a majority from the Conservative Party, even though she won, but not the majority to say you have that full reign to run the country. Okay? So really and truly, the question need to be asked is this: should the Prime Minister be changed by the party only? Because Monday or Tuesday or so, if Mr. Brady, who is the 1922 chair, the backbenchers, whatever committee, that could trigger a party election and a vote of no confidence in the prime minister, right? And if you lose, then guess what? There will be a new prime minister. But this prime minister will be coming through the ranks of the Conservative Party or of a political party and not from the country. And then many people are going to question, many people are saying, is that fair? Right? But they have this lady who is actually standing nail and tooth, rocky, like a Churchill said, we'll fight them in the city, we'll fight them there, we'll make them live right there. And she's going forth and she said, let's do this deal. Now she's got a deal. Many say it's not a good deal, but nobody can give the best deal. Many people on the sideline firing shots, making commands, undermining, or whatever like that, but somehow not giving an ultimate option, an alternative. So therefore, the question to be asked is this now: what type of woman is she, Theresa May? What is inspiring about a person who can stand the ground, stand the test, when there are all forces coming in at her? Is she stubborn? Is she rocky? Is she a formidable force? Has she got her, is she very focused and is she on the money? Right? Because I tell you this, it's not good to get up and run. It's not good to get up and just resign every second. You start to look wishy-washy. Right now, as one can see, uh, um, Boris Johnson doesn't look that credible anymore. I say even Dominic Raab, who is the was a former Brexit secretary, was on TV this morning and he said that he supports the prime minister. And when you hear someone say they support the prime minister, I say, well, if you support the prime minister, why didn't you just go on with a deal? Because if a deal is signed, and if you're operating for a government, or if you're operating for a country, if you're operating for an organization, if you're operating as a delegated agent based on the structure, then that structure which you are signing for, one cannot take it personal and say it is you, but it is because but it is the organization based on the country one is signing for, and the whole aspect of collective responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about this whole Brexit debate, and someone was just saying recently, yeah, I don't watch X Factor, and I give all the best to Dalton and Shani Smith. I met her many years ago actually. You know, she actually Shani Smith. I got a video with her saying lower the airfares. She was saying lower the airfares because we're campaigning for the airport passenger duty tax for it to come down and reggae rock, or reggae rock, you know, dance or something like that. And she was there with her sister, and we did look a video. I got a video. I'm gonna look for it. It's always good to have these videos, you know, of persons when they're rising. So when they rise, you can say, "Hey, I got this video for you," you know. So interestingly, the whole aspect of the Brexit, the whole aspect of the prime minister, the whole aspect of people standing their ground at this time. It is so important and it is encouraging. And I believe that person should be encouraged by the prime minister. Yeah, it should be encouraged. And I think people are going to actually look at her, and history, I believe, will absolve her to a certain extent as a person who actually stood the ground amidst all the naysayers, amidst all the persons who were against her, against all the men who were spineless, or the woman who never had a spine or whatever like that, who was just undermining her left, right, and center, but she stood firm. And this is one thing she said. She said this when she became the prime minister at number 10 Downing Street, or in an interview with her, I believe. She said that I'm not the type of person that is going to be going to the pubs with the boys after work or something like that. I'm just going home. That's what she said. Well, where she lives now is her home actually, so it makes no difference because she's always at home. You know? So so that's the thing there with the whole aspect of the whole element of Brexit. And as I said before, 17.4 million people voted for Brexit. And the remainder, which is about 15 or 16, I can't remember the exact figures, voted to stay, remain, and leave, remain and leave and remain. Therefore, there's got to be a middle ground. There's got to be a middle ground. And that middle ground, I believe, it could be this deal. It may not be the deal. It could be that you haven't really Brexit. So people say, if you're not Brexit, might as well just remain and just stay where you are at, you know. But there's something else that maybe people are not thinking about or not noticing. But the EU is actually showing its real colors, right? Years ago, they were saying, and many people were saying that the EU is having a plan to, and this is what they were having a plan to have an EU army. They denied it. But guess what? Merkel, Chancellor of Germany, said we want an EU army. Yeah, Germany said we want an EU army. That wasn't the plan for the EU. I know many people are saying that people are voting now, which are going to affect the youths for the future. But so I believe that life has a way of absolving itself. Life is a way whereby in the past people voted for going to the EU, and it seemed like the same persons were the youths. I think it was actually, the persons who are voting to leave the EU now, most of them were the youths at that time. Were the youths at that time who voted to go into the EU. Because guess what? That's a period of time if you check it out. And I believe their parents at that time voted to go in, and this is after the war to sort of keep things in tip-top shape. But they are the same ones now who are voting to leave. Yeah. So therefore, what may happen then is after years now, then maybe people might say we need to go back into the EU, and nothing stops that. You know? But the reality of everything is that guess what? One doesn't actually change things just like that. And I still believe that a lot of doom mongering is going on. That plane is going to drop out of the sky. I said that all a while. Trust me, I don't believe all of that thing is going to happen. You know why I don't believe that's going to happen? Because it's not going to happen. Simple as that. All is happening is a lot of political maneuvering, political noise which is being made. Because guess what? And if you think about this, right after the the 585 words were released, most persons were actually saying this is what they were saying. We don't agree with it. We have seen it, and they said you haven't read it yet. Totally haven't read it yet. I haven't read the 585 pages yet, but everybody's saying it's not good, right? And because everybody says it's not good, then the Labour is against that, Conservative Insiders against that, DUP is against that, Scots against that. So therefore, it's not going to go anywhere. And the Prime Minister said, "Well, let's just do it because you're going to have either a Brexit, a no deal, or a Remain, or whatever like that. There's no Brexit." And that in the back of it, there, people are happy. Some people are happy for that because they say, is she saying that there could be only Remain and people to remain and for it to stay as it is? To be honest with you, if according to what some of the pundits are saying that the deal which is being made is not much different than Remain, or actually the deal which is made is actually worse off because you're not in there and you only are subject to whatever they have said, then guess what? Might as well you just remain. Now, I'm being a bit objective at the same time because everybody knows who know me for years. Since 2006, I voted to Brexit, you know. And when I did that, many people were having a go at me, you know. But guess what? That's life. It's good to have a go at people as long as you're not rude, you know. But at the same time, I'm being a bit very practical, in the sense that, hey, can you there need to be somewhat of a balancing act. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think that there should be a balancing act, or it should just simply um, shut down and things like that? Yeah, that's where our things are. Yeah, so I believe that it is an inspirational moment. I think that the prime minister should be commended. That doesn't mean to say one has to like the deal. Yeah, that doesn't mean to say one has got to want the deal. But the principle about it, I believe that she's maybe onto something, and by being onto something, then I believe that it is something to look forward to. And for the rest of the week, we're going to see what happens, and let's watch a space in regards to Brexit, and Brexit. Okay, good. Thank you for coming on. Now, I just want to share this with you, though. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Can you see this? I don't know if you can see this. I have to share this with you because there's this thing which is happening at my church, which is on this Saturday the 24th. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah, yeah. Unlimited praise. Sometimes I don't know if this thing can be seen properly. On unlimited praise, an evening of praise and worship, Saturday the 24th, 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And that's at Word of Life Rehoboth Building in Grove Park, 72A Mayswood Grove Park, SE 129RP. There's going to be a Biola Olatunde, Hannah Olatunde, Anya Omideye, and the Word of Life worship team. Of course, my wife will be singing there as well. And it's going to go live as well. So if you are not ready to do this Saturday, make sure you come in and you check this out as well. An evening of praise and worship from 5 to 8:30 p.m. 3 hours of non-stop praise and worship. An evening of praise and worship, and it's free event. Okay, bring your mother, bring your son, bring your kids, bring your child, bring everybody, and have a good time as well. And that is this Saturday. I will post you more details later and be talking about this as well. So that is awesome. So I want to wish you a wonderful rest of the week. It's going to be a great week, and be blessed as usual. And remember, you tune in to the show with Miss Colette Hunter, which is trending now on YouTube and on my Facebook page. A mother, the nightmare for mother who loses their son. It is very interesting, very touching, and it gives you the other side of knife crime as well. Look out soon for the show with the two children, which is Naya Okoye and also um, Mike Phillips, yeah, also Angela Marr, also Blacker Dread, and also there's more to come as well. So that is going to be very awesome. Okay, so look forward to that. So I want to thank you very much. I want to wish you a very good night, and enjoy the rest of the evening, and enjoy and have a productive week. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and all the best, and peace out. Now, thank you to those on Facebook. Thank you to those on YouTube as well. SYLBOURNE, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye, Lorna, and bye, guys, and peace. Thank you very much.